Hello.
Hello my darlings, my name is Silvadorkable, I am your monster waifu, and today we are back to drawing Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia if you're speaking in Japanese, I guess. How's it going, Shiro and Cuervo? So we are going to do the finer lines.
Stream elements bot running.
How is everyone? Hopefully well.
Solve good. I'm in bed.
I actually just was in bed. I got up so that I could stream. I was very comfortable in bed, but I had been very comfortable in bed for like 30 minutes, so I didn't really have any excuse.
I would yell. Go back, comfort is best. But I love watching you draw heavy black heart.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's not like I can't, climb my lazy butt back into bed and sleep some more later. I mean, between work and this, those are really the only things I have that I'm fully dedicated to on a schedule. So I think I'll survive.
Do EET.
So aside from that, how is everyone's Thursday, unless you're in the UK, in which case it's early Friday morning, I believe. How is everyone's day going? Hopefully well. I like doing this because it gives me a chance to redraw anything that I kind of glazed over before. Which usually is a lot more than I'm willing to admit.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Mama. How are you? For example, I never really put an end to her jaw there.
Hi, Shiro and Cuervo.
Don't like that. Oh, no, too good.
Mummy Silva. Hi.
Like that. I noticed that her nose cutout is actually a little lower.
I'm okay. And you?
I'm okay. It's beautiful weather here. Took a walk earlier today during my lunch break. And it was short enough that I didn't get sunburned. Oh, thank you, eh? I need to change that graphic.
It's hot and sunny here too.
So weird.
This is Anae, hoping everyone is staying safe and healthy.
Likewise, eh? I hope you're staying safe and healthy too. My job is
Trying to.
slowly working on finding a on finding a way to reopen. The governor of our state declared that we're going to still be closed
You stay safe too.
till the end of the month, but I guess they're doing things where you can do like curbside pickup for things for like certain types of businesses, like restaurants, and so that's something that's slowly getting implemented. I think I might make her chin a little bit shallower, because otherwise her face is going to be too long. There we go.
Oh no, you won't be able to work in your jammies.
I know.
Damn.
I knew it wouldn't last forever. I will unfortunately just have to live with having a normal job again. As if I totally haven't been spoiled these past couple months. Right now, I haven't so far had to go anywhere, but aside from like I have to go to the post office twice a week, but I'm not looking forward to when my office officially opens back up. Especially because someone in my office actually...
The New York State governor closed schools for the rest of academic year.
Really?
Probably won't reopen anything until next month.
Well, it doesn't help that one of my coworkers is pregnant, which means that she is high risk. And that means that I have had more work to do, which sucks, but what are you gonna do?
California is saying August.
August? Wow, so we're a little, I don't even know what the term would be, but we are essentially not as conservative, I guess is the word. I always get those mixed up. I don't know which is which, honestly. I'm not a political person. Whatever it is, I guess we're...
At Inang, our state governor also closed schools for the rest of the year until September or October.
I think schools here are closed until... Actually, yeah, I think it is the rest of the academic year, but a lot of them are doing schooling from home.
We have a larger population.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I know, like...
Well, the UK is fucked right now, so yay.
Yeah, it kind of seems like everywhere's fucked right now. Like, I've been needing to go in to, like, go get a regular annual exam and stuff.
California is more conservative.
Thank you. I don't know the difference. I've been meaning to go in to get, like, a normal exam and stuff, but I've been holding off because I don't want to go in when they're overflooded with all this COVID stuff, you know?
Oh damn, Moxie. And yet, I heard about your lockdown stuff, Shiro. Emma, we are all fucked. Howdy cowboys and cowgirls.
How's it going, Zoxix?
The UK has the second highest deaths. And we are a fucking tiny country. It's appalling. And shows the failing of the UK government to handle this crisis.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the governments have not been capable of handling this.
Prayers to everyone in NYC.
I like that a little better. She wears like this skin tight bodysuit.
Doesn't help that the England Prime Minister got the
Ooh.
virus too.
God, that sucks. I'm sorry, hon.
I am disappointed because school is starting a week earlier than I thought and I have done literally none of the homework.
Yeah, that's bound to happen.
Boris is a fucking joke.
All you can do is start trying while you can.
It's all about the money. At least you have national health care, which is more than we have. At Inang, our state governor requires everyone to wear masks while in public.
Was UK the one that had the typo and then people started taping bananas to their faces as a joke?
Like doing things, that's the problem.
Like homemade bananas or something?
No idea that. Boris equals Trump, LOL. You aren't alone.
Yeah, I know some country said something about like homemade. They tried saying homemade bandanas in the newsfeed of what was appropriate to wear, but they accidentally put bananas. And
To be fair, Mother Earth and nature are better off without the
and then people started to like meme on it.
Sorry for the negativity.
It's okay.
And same Moxie. Trump's even worse devs. I honestly feel sorry for America.
Oh, you political talkers. In case you can't tell, I don't usually talk politics, so I politely sit this out.
Let's keep politics out of this. No need for drama. Yet I'm fucking this stream. Sorry.
No worries.
I will stop for. NYC in my state has the highest confirmed cases in the USA. Also my state is Massachusetts.
Well, I hope everyone out there is staying as safe as they can.
Some lady got arrested for cutting a big hole in her mask, exposing her nose and mouth so she could breathe better. Got filmed in the store on YouTube. What a dumbass.
I have a mask, but then again,
Trump is worst unamused face.
I also had a mask since like a year and a half ago. It's just it wasn't socially acceptable to wear them at the time, so I just kind of had it and didn't do anything with it. Well, moving on. How is everyone? How's everyone's Thursday? Anything exciting for the weekend? Apparently my house is falling down, judging by the fucking sounds of people slamming around.
So, Animal Crossing Sill has a new villager move in the other day, so I decided to go say hi the day after. the note on the door, I'm out right now, if you need me find me. My weekend is probably just gonna be homework and I am not looking forward to it. Your work should prove you a N95 mask if you have to go out for work. So I went over my entire island. I have bandanas but don't want any idiot to look at the wrong way, and just surviving here, Silva. Getting mixed signals from my work crush, but whatever. Not a peep from that villager.
Well, unfortunately everywhere's sold out of masks, so they can't really provide me something that they can't find. Oh. I'm sorry you're getting mixed signals, eh? I actually have a full village on Animal Crossing.
I have 3 masks so I'm okay.
God, she has such weird little horns.
I'll see if I can get you one.
Only if you want. I mean, honestly, my mask works perfectly fine. And honestly, I'm not really worried. I know I probably should be, but I'm not really worried about catching it. I'm more worried about other people catching it. Like you.
Met. Not ready for a romantic relationship anyway. Don't want to talk too much about it anyway.
Okay, well, hope it works out for you.
You better not be sick.
Nah. Trust me, I'm fine.
People are doing video dating.
How's it going, Jen?
Jen. The light of my life.
Trust me, I'm fine.
How are you? I should get going now though. Everyone enjoy the rest of the stream and please stay safe.
You too, eh? Thank you for joining. Actually, after my stream last night, I got to watch one of my friends. I don't get to see her that often because she lives in LA. She moved to LA several years back, but her and I are both cosplayers, and she's actually a much more well-known cosplayer because she sews her own stuff and everything. Oh, thank you. But she so she actually has gotten the luxury of the luxury of being able to be like an official guest at a convention as like a cosplay guest and stuff like that because she makes all of her own stuff, as opposed to me, which outsources most stuff because I am not as skilled as my mother with a sewing machine. But she does these.
I'm heading out. Stay healthy and safe.
Bye, Moxie. Thank you for joining. But she actually did this thing where she had posted a little thing on Twitter and was like, hey, for any of my mutuals or my friends, if you want to, I'm going to be styling a wig on, live TV. And if you guys want, you can join. So I was just like, no, I want to join. I want to watch you style wigs because she's really good at everything she does from years of experience. And she's the type of person that's very willing to share her experience and her knowledge, as opposed to a lot of cosplayers who see it more as like a competition. And they're like, well, no, I'm not going to tell you how I did it because you'll do it and then I won't be best at it. Whereas she kind of looks at it more of like we're all in this together, cosplay is supposed to be about fun, and she's actually gone out of her way to help others when they're in kind of a bad situation at a con with their cosplay. And so she actually was going through different stuff, and since I had just recently gotten my very much so, Mom. Unfortunately, cosplay, a lot of the people see it as just a competitive sport and not as a community thing. And the problem is that it's not it doesn't have to be a competitive thing. It can be something that everyone enjoys and can share experiences on, but not everyone wants to do that because they want to be the best and they don't want competition. But anyway, since I recently got my Monica cosplay, I still need to get the wig, but since I recently got my Monica cosplay and she was styling a Yuri wig from the same video game, she actually showed me some of the things she did with her her blazer.
It should be a shaping community.
It should be, but it's not. She actually showed me, because she made her blazer from scratch, she actually showed me what she did with her blazer to like make it more flattering to the cut, because she's a thicker girl too. And her and I both have struggled a lot with the problem of there being a stigma against larger or thicker people in cosplay. So I kind of relate to her a lot on all this, but she actually pointed out a lot of things like darts and like hidden zippers and stuff like that for the blazer. So it was actually really interesting listening to her go on about all of this. And I really miss her. I wish she'd move to be more local, because as much as I'm sure that the FX community is strong and good in LA, I sure do miss having cosplay friends locally.
That stigma is in all things.
Yeah. In fact, wasn't it also an issue you had in nursing, Mama? Because I remember you had problems with a lot of the nurses trying to throw each other under the bus, if I remember correctly.
That's all they do.
Yeah, I actually just recently, before quarantine, the last convention that I had gone to, which was in Portland, I actually applied and joined a Pacific Northwest guild of cosplayers. And I was like super excited because like they all share different stuff and we have a website and stuff, and I'm actually listed on their website. I'm very proud of myself. But they do things as like a group. They occasionally...
Wasn't for me. They don't know the
Yeah, I know, right?
teamwork.
It's hard finding people that are genuine team players. But one of the things I was really liking is that they are a guild and they're like a community, and they do like a handful of conventions in the Pacific Northwest that they actually have like a booth at, and they need people to help run it and can have volunteers, and they also have like things that they go out and do as a group. And I was really excited, and then quarantine happened, so I haven't been able to actually do anything.
They've been paying across the net, searching far and wide for the best dress to represent the cosplayer instinct.
I like that, Jen. But yeah, so hopefully after quarantine is over, I will be capable of actually going and meeting the other people that are in the guild and becoming friends with some of them, and maybe actually like doing cosplays with part of the group. I can hope. So. And I don't know, it's like a lot of my group that liked cosplaying and stuff haven't really been cosplaying or going to conventions lately, so kind of out on my own. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I have been getting some outfits. Which one thing sucks. So I got my 2B dress. And Mama Katie could explain to you who 2B is from Nier Automata. She played and beat that game to like every single extent. But I got my 2B dress. And I was like super excited, and I got like the super XL because it's in Asian sizes, and heaven forbid. And for some reason, the crotch of the dress, like apparently my torso is hella long compared to the model that they built this off of. So even though it fits around me and everything, the torso is hella short. So I need to get some snaps and some extra fabric because it's a snap crotch, and I have to actually extend it with like an extra piece and like sew it in so that I can wear it, because otherwise it literally like won't go down and snap because I can't, you know, stand up straight, and it's ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Free cheese.
And I'm just like, really? It's like, you really gotta be like that? It's like, yep, really gotta be like that. I'm like, thanks for that. Thanks that you fit everywhere except for the fucking crotch. But honestly, it could be worse. I mean,
You could make an extension then snaps on both ends.
Ironically, that's what I was thinking of doing. Because I could technically sew it in and everything, but like, in the event that I wanted to edit it.
You could not have a crotch.
Well, true, but her outfit... Are you okay, Shiro? But her outfit literally is like a white under thing, so... Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, so I'm slowly figuring those things out. But I already know what this month's cosplay will be. So that's good.
I'm all good. And yes, Shiro.
But yeah, so you know, I've had stuff to do. Does she look?
I don't want that god-awful song forever going around in my head, thanks. I hate bodysuits.
I'm not a huge fan. But she's a really cool character. She's very popular. I love the kind of gothic Lolita style she has. And she's one of the few costumes that I've seen on a thicker girl that looks good. And it's probably because it's a flared skirt and a fitted waist. Even though the original character is dressed like a 13-year-old. But
I can't wear bodysuits, disappointed face.
It's usually hit and miss for me. It depends. I find that for my body type, slit side skirts like Chun-Li look best because they emphasize the hips and pull in the waist. But there honestly aren't that many characters that have those. So it's kind of something I have to, you know, use sparingly. I'd love to do something like Chun-Li. Or not Chun-Li, Cammy.
There are some cute Lolita dresses on Wish for reasonable price. Hit or miss, guess it didn't fit none. Hit or miss. Better get some tits, son.
But Wish, you have to be careful. I've seen a lot of reviews from Wish where they just really did not look anything like what they promised it would look like. Because it's usually a really crappy Chinese knockoff, and at least when I buy crappy Chinese knockoffs, I know they're going to be crappy Chinese knockoffs.
You know you wanted to laugh at that.
Actually, the funny thing is, I haven't heard any of those those songs, so.
Wish is a hit or miss.
So I don't even know the hit or miss song. I just know of it. But yeah, so I mean. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff I've been wanting to work on. And slowly but surely, I actually just dug out. Hold on, it's stuck to the. Is that how you tighten it? That's how you tighten it. Shit.
Yen's hot. So would make an epic cosplay of Lyra.
So, I actually just recently dug this out of my
I don't have the booty or the boots for an Asari.
I feel like an Asari can look like however she wants. So I actually just ended up digging this out of my garage. For those of you who don't know, this is essentially a anchor to hold styrofoam heads on for wig styling. Because after I got frustrated trying to trim my own bangs on a the Tifa wig, which was very frustrating because I was literally trying to wear it as I was trying to snip my bangs, and it didn't turn out very well. There was like one piece.
You look like a woman.
I think you look fine, okay? You just look like a thinner woman. There's nothing wrong with that.
Petite. Still a woman. I hate myself.
Well, I hate being... I want to say fat, but I know everyone's going to say I'm not fat. Well, I hate being thicker. But unfortunately, I'm stuck with that too, so, you know.
That never works well.
Yeah. It sucks because, like, fitting it on the mannequin, obviously the mannequin might not necessarily have the same proportions of the face as you do, but at least it's a little bit more helpful. The problem is I threw out my styrofoam head quite a while ago, and by threw out, I think I mean I lost it. But I ordered a new one, so I'm going to start working on that.
Thicker than a Snicker, and that is fine.
I am actually going to get back into Pilates. Boxing was fun and all, but I'm tired of constantly sweating through my headset, and it's really uncomfortable. And it's making me break out. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm breaking out because of it. So I'm going to go back to, like, Pilates. Because Pilates always really helped. But yeah, so overall, I'm going to be slowly working on my,
You going to just restyle wigs?
Well, the thing is you can get a lot of decently priced wigs on, like Amazon. Ultimately, if you were doing like a professional grade cosplay, you would want to get your cosplay from a place called Arto Wigs, which sells various different shades of wigs. Like, I actually have a big key ring that has all the, well, 7 years ago it was all of the colors. I haven't bought the new ones, but it's essentially a big swatch of what was all of their colors of wigs. So you can actually look and be like, okay, I like this color and I want it in that style. And they were pretty basic styles, and then you could style them further. The problem is that each of those wigs usually runs between $25 and $75. For those of you who ever saw my Elsa wig that I styled myself, that was a Arta wig, and they are expensive. So ultimately, I prefer, since I have so many of them, that if I'm not doing any specific wig or like a really high-end cosplay, that I essentially end up getting a cheaper wig from Amazon, which usually run between like $7 and $25. And they are. And end up restyling it as I need to. And unless it's a character I really intend on using a lot or want a good theater quality wig for, I'm not going to spend $75 on a wig. However, if you need one that's very customized, they're the people to go to. I feel like her hips just aren't good enough.
Cosplay can be expensive.
Yeah, it sure can. There. I feel like that's a little better. I want her to be more proportionate, and she didn't look proportionate. There we go. I want her to look more proportionate to her upper body, and it was very challenging there, so she's a little bit wider. But yeah, cosplay is...
This is probably the last stream I'll watch for about 3 weeks, since I won't be able to stay awake until 3 a.m. to watch you when I'm going to school.
Well, that's okay, Zox6. It's been a pleasure having you here, for the record. And I know it's not the same going and watching the reruns, because you can't, you know, participate in conversation and stuff. She kind of has like a crooked... She has like a crooked smile going on. We'll see how that looks in a minute. But yeah, no. Actually, the entire real reason that I do Patreon is because of the fact that I use the money I get from Patreon to pay for my next cosplays. Or things that are related to cosplay, such as like the equipment for the...
We doing Jackbox tomorrow?
Yes, we are. Such as like the lighting equipment or stuff like that. But honestly, pretty much I just enjoy cosplaying, which is why I'll use the money to buy more cosplays. Because I just enjoy doing it.
One day I will sub for like the 25 for a month just to see what happens.
That is totally fine. I know lately they've been talking about like charging taxes or something, but the thing is they've already been charging taxes, so it's like, yeah. But yeah, so ultimately, I pretty much just do cosplay for the sake of cosplay, not necessarily because I'm trying to get anything out of it. That's the fun part. It's all the adjustments and
I don't even get why we're going back to school since it's only 3 weeks with only 3 classes a day. Such a waste of everyone's time.
fix this.
If I so pretty and lovely and all that Shazam, then why am I single and Noon looks at me when I walk down the street? Why am I invisible to most people? Actually no, don't answer that, I sad enough already. Night guys.
Good night, hon. I hope you know that's not true. I'm sure people notice you. Besides, people around there are jerks. We've already kind of established that. We're gonna do this shape first. Wonder. No. Let's just do Arnold pen first. Let's do it in large though. Kind of make it a little jittery and
It's going to be torture to wake up on Monday. I'm used to going to sleep at 6 a.m. and now I have to wake up at 5:30 a.m.
I am so sorry. That sounds absolutely horrible.
I don't even know how I'll fall asleep.
Melatonin.
LOL.
A lot of it. Here we go. Duplicate. Very nice.
I'll probably just run on raw caffeine on Monday because I'll inevitably only get like 2 hours
Ugh.
of sleep if I'm lucky.
Well, that's not bueno.
It looks like a squirrel.
It looks like a squirrel. Oh. I guess in a way.
I love how this drawing is looking.
I guess it does kind of look like a squirrel. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm actually really liking how it's turning out. Like, I'm not really I'm not really a huge fan of Pinky, just because her color palette is kind of... But I'm definitely liking the short, spiky hair. It's a pain in the ass to draw, but it's really cute. And I've always liked characters with black scleras, which are the whites of the eyes.
Can you draw Chitara from Thundercats?
Depends which Thundercats. Because I recently found out that there is a Thundercats that is drawn in the ugliest style I've ever seen, and I refuse.
The old one.
Yes, I can do that. I will add that to the list of requests.
The original version.
I did like the original Thundercats. Not this bullshit it is now. Have you seen the new Thundercats one? The artwork is so ugly. I saw that on like a preview for something and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this is the most hideous thing I've ever seen. I was so disgusted.
Night BB.
Night?
Do you mean the new cartoon?
Yes, it is so ugly. Night, it's not time for night yet. There is.
There was a new one.
And it's hideous. It's hideous. Google it. It's horrible.
An anime I really like was recently ruined for me by a cartoony Western art style.
Really? What one? Honestly, art style is...
Question. Does anyone role play?
Like tabletop? Like Dungeons and Dragons kind of a thing?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
The new show Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's has a really generic cartoony look over the classic and iconic Kazuki Takahashi art style they've used for over 20 years.
Yeah, I can see that. I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger. I never really got super into it, but I do remember it, and I was like, oh. I liked the idea that a lot of it was like tied to Egyptian mythology. But I never actually watched it.
What's even worse is that the last show, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, was rushed and ended early for this new one.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you for being upset about that. I mean, especially if it was, like, one of your favorites.
Kazuki Takahashi actually traveled to Egypt for
Really?
research when making the first Yu-Gi-Oh!
Jeez, you'd have to be careful doing that now.
Who would win in a fight? Freddy or Jason?
Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees? Well, they actually made that movie, and technically neither of them really won, but Jason Voorhees technically won. And personally, just because of the fact that I've always been more of a fan of Jason Voorhees more than Freddy Krueger, I'm going to say Jason Voorhees.
I'm repping Michael Myers. I like him the best.
I do like Michael Myers. Except for the part where they went back and they tried to, like, retcon a bunch of the shit. And where it's like, no, Laurie Strode was his sister all along. And it kind of got a little ridiculous. And then for some reason, Laurie Strode apparently was like the goddamn Sarah Connor from Terminator. And she could, like, do all this cool shit. And I was like, I don't, no. In the original, she couldn't do that. And it's just really hard to believe that she somehow became this badass. And I know we are just about out of time, so as soon as I am done with the hair, we will call it a night.
You probably wouldn't like the new Yu-Gi-Oh shows because they have nothing to do with Egypt or monsters. The new ones are all about technology.
That was boring.
Duel Monsters is the only one inspired by real-life mythology.
See, personally, I liked it because I do like mythology. The idea of, like, a lot of these old mythological things and the stories that were wound by all these people that had nothing better to do, and they essentially became like their folktales and their learning stories and how they taught their children, and you know, all that different stuff is very interesting to me. And always kind of has been. So when it was like, oh yeah, this is about this, and I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that. But then when they're just like, yeah, no, it's just it's not that anymore, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't care anymore then. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Mama, did I ever tell you that I actually have those Enchanted World books back?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters actually has a lot of deep lore and real-life mythology. The other ones do have magic and stuff, but not real-life mythology.
Growing up, I had these books I used to love as a child. And yeah, he did a couple years ago, actually. But I also have an entire full collection that I bought myself several years before that. So I technically have a collection and a half now. But for those who don't know, I had a book of mythology books that were more like this, like, small anthology of, like, short stories and stuff, and they had different topics. And I grew up reading those, and that is why I love mythology so much is because those are the kind of books that I grew up looking at.
Funny how he said
Yeah.
they weren't yours.
I know, Mama.
I don't read books, but that sounds
I was very attracted to it as a...
The Babysitter's Club is mythology now?
No, I never read The Babysitter's Club. That's stupid. No, they were called The Enchanted World, if I'm not mistaken. And they were from Time Life. And I absolutely loved them. They were like the best books in the world to me. And I used to sit there and just read the... Yeah. I used to just sit there and read the short stories and look at all of the classical paintings in them. And they had different books. So like one book would be dedicated to fairies, one of them would be dedicated to mermaids, one of them would be dedicated to vampires. And it had, yeah. And so I actually have them. They're downstairs, both sets. But yeah, it actually was really nice. I liked it. I like all mythology. I find it very interesting from a psychological standpoint on the type of not really, actually. I was a very strange child. I distinctly remember I used to bring a set of runes into elementary school and tell my schoolmates and my classmates fortunes. Same with tarot cards. I'm surprised the teachers weren't afraid of me. Maybe they were. I don't know. That's what I used to do during recess, tell fortunes. I am.
A strange adult, LOL.
I did. I had more pets than friends, honestly. But anyway, would you guys... No, honestly, I like it. I like being strange. Especially around Portland. People love that shit. Just out of curiosity, since I'm watching this replay, would you guys be interested? Would you guys be interested if I published my speed paints? So, like, basically these. And put them to, like, music or something? Because, I don't know, I was thinking of doing it.
I'm into mystical stuff.
I've been meaning to do it for a while. I just haven't gotten around to it, you know? Because I have a lot of them. No, it'd be something like this. It would be some kind of copyright-free music. Yeah, publish them to YouTube so that you could actually watch, like, the entire speed paint. I could probably narrate over them, too. Though I feel like narrating over them would just be annoying, because if you're watching a speed paint, you're probably not watching it to hear the artist, you're probably watching it to watch the development of the picture.
Yeah, that would be cool. I subbed to your channel recently, so might as well.
Now I'm, like, thinking about it.
They say 10 minutes videos are the most popular.
Alright, well, that being done, we will continue this on Monday. We will start a... There we go. we will be doing a episode of Jackbox Party Pack.
Love her hair.
I actually do too, Mama. My Hero Academia really does well in drawing spiky, kind of curly, messy hair. Personally, without reference pictures, I can't draw it. I've never been good at, like, the hair that's all over the place. So, well, not three-dimensional. It always looks too, like,
PP milk.
it always looks too flat, I guess. Anyway, I hope all of you have a great night. I will see you tomorrow for Jackbox Party Friday, and stay safe. Love you, darlings. Love you, Mama.
Night. Night, sweetie. Love you. Kissing cat face with closed eyes.